Your phone buzzes at 6 a.m. One notification. One number. $1 million. Not a typo, not a scam email. Your bank app just refreshed and there are 10 zeros where your rent money used to be. You have exactly 24 hours before it disappears. No explanation, no warning of what happens after. Just a countdown and a question nobody's ever actually had to answer. What do you do with $1 billion when you know it's temporary? And by the end of today, you're going to find out you're not the only one this happened to. But you don't know that yet. You stare at the screen, refreshing it, waiting for it to correct itself. It doesn't. Your hands are cold. Your first thought isn't even about money, it's who do I even call? You check the door is locked. Twice. Not because you're scared of someone breaking in, you're scared of yourself doing something stupid in the next 30 seconds. At the bottom of the screen, a small line of text you almost miss. Balance expires in 23:47:12. A countdown. Already running. And underneath it, one more line, small, easy to miss, that you don't fully read yet. Terms apply. You'll remember that line later. Right now, you scroll past it. You've heard the stories, sudden money. Gone in a year, people broke and angrier than before. You don't want to be that story. So you write a list. Not what you want. What's been quietly breaking you for years. 11 items. The loan you stopped checking. The card payment eating you alive. The car making a sound you've been ignoring since March. None of these problems are new. What's different today isn't the problem, it's the number in your account. Your mortgage. 6 years of payments, watching the balance drop by fractions that never felt like progress. Today, one click, 11 seconds, paid in full. You don't feel rich. You feel like you exhaled for the first time in years. And that's when you notice something strange. A notification, buried under the confirmation screen. Not from your bank. You are one of 24. Only one keeps anything. You blink. You reread it. It's gone before you can screenshot it. What does that mean? You don't know yet. Neither do we, not for a while. You call your mother, hands shaking more than they did paying off the house. You don't explain, you just ask her to check her account in 5 minutes. 90 seconds later, she calls back. Not words, just sound. 30 years of financial fear leaving a body all at once. You almost tell her about the strange message. You don't. Not yet. You don't even know if it was real. A car you've wanted since 16. A watch bookmarked for 3 years just to look at. Your thumb hovers over buy now on something worth more than your childhood home. It disappears in 16 hours. So does it matter what you buy? Or does knowing it ends change everything? You close the app. Not because you're above it. Because a part of you is still thinking about those 11 words. One of 24. Only one keeps anything. Then, it comes back. Same unknown sender. This time, it doesn't disappear. 23 others received exactly what you received today. At the end, whoever created the most impact, not the most spent, keeps 1% permanently. Everyone else returns to zero, remembering everything. 1% of $1 billion. $10 million. Permanent. You sit down. This isn't just a countdown anymore. This is a test. And you didn't know you were being graded until the exam was already half over. Now every decision from here changes. Now you're not just spending, you're competing against 23 strangers you'll never meet, for a prize you can't verify is even real. Here's the trap. You could spend the next several hours chasing the biggest, most visible act of generosity you can find, buying attention, not helping people. Some of the other 23 probably will. You almost do it too. You open a fundraising page with 6 figures still unclaimed, ready to dump money into the biggest number you can find, fastest. Then you stop. Because if this is a test, dumping money on a stranger's spreadsheet isn't the answer. You close the tab. Outside a hospital, a woman cries into her phone her son's surgery. Money she doesn't have. The number she says is smaller than what you spent on a car this morning. You have hours left, a fortune in your account, and a decision to make in the next 90 seconds, not for the $10 million anymore. For her. 5 minutes later, it's done. She doesn't fully believe it's real. Neither do you. Any more about any of it. Doubt creeps in. What if the message was fake? What if there are no 23 others, no game? No 10 million, nothing waiting at midnight except zero. You almost stop caring about winning. And that's exactly the moment you realize that might have been the actual test the whole time. One more name gets added to your list, someone you haven't mentioned yet. Someone from years ago you never got to help when you had nothing. You find them. You fix what you couldn't fix back then. You're not thinking about the 10 million anymore. You stopped thinking about it a while ago, somewhere between the hospital and this moment. You just didn't notice when it happened. Midnight. Your phone buzzes. $0. Gone. Exactly like it warned you. You wait for the disappointment. It doesn't come, not really. The mortgage is still paid. Your mother is still crying somewhere across town. The woman outside the hospital still got her call. Then, one more buzz. One final message. Of 24, you ranked first. Not by amount given. By people who will never forget your name. $10 million permanent. You stare at the screen for a long time, longer than you stared at it at 6 a.m. Because this time, the number isn't the part that matters. You already knew that. You knew it a while ago, when you stopped checking the balance completely. You didn't win because you spent the most. You won because you forgot you were competing. So here's the real question, the one this video was actually asking the whole time. If you had 24 hours, and nobody was keeping score, would you have done anything differently?